homeless, like I said, off and on over 30 years. Been in 10 cities, lived on the streets, in shelters, been through programs and everything like that. Decision makers and homeless providers say that homeless people can't get together. You can't have a tent city, you can't have a shelter that's going to be chaotic. So this right here is a pitch a tent campaign. On the Rose Parade, the city lets non-homeless people pitch up their tent for 24 hours. At that time too, they let them barbecue. But they don't let homeless people do that any other time of the year. Right to Survive said that's not right. We need to pitch our tents next to non-homeless people. And so that's what we did. When we did that, the police were right on us. I say 2 hours, Ibrahim says it was less than 1 hour. And they said, you can't pitch your tents on us. And I went back and forth, and we finally brought out the ordinance, the hard copy. And they said anybody can pitch their tents, but yet the police were saying, no, you can't. They kept trying to get us on out of there. They even called up, back at headquarters, I guess, and trying to get us out. When we showed them the ordinance, they said, okay. After that happened, a few minutes later, the cops go cat-a-corner to another business, or to a business, and what happened was the manager of that business was complaining that all these homeless people pitching up their tents in front of his business were chasing away his customers. So the police officer and him went inside, and the police officer is standing there listening to him, and you could see him through the window. His arms are going all kinds of ways. And anyway, the police officer knows that we had the right to be there. So finally, the police officer came on out, and one of the city attorneys was there just as the police officer was coming out the door. She said, what's the problem? So the police officer said, homeless people are here, they have the right to be here, and we're trying to get them on out. So anyway, yeah, she's listening to this, and she's chewing gum, and she's going faster and faster. You can see her frustration. Her face is getting redder and redder, because they don't have anything legal to get us on out of there. But we're considered a problem. So finally, she just gets out her business card, hands it over to the officer, and says, if there's any problem, give me a call. So she leaves, storming, she leaves. And then again, the police officer goes to Ibrahim again and says, you guys got to leave. And again, they ensue with the same conversation. Finally, Ibrahim says, okay, if we have to leave, then you tell those non-homeless people over there they have to leave also. And finally, the officer left us alone. Okay, so the meetings, yeah, they always say homeless people can't, and formerly homeless people cannot talk and decide anything. These are part of the meetings. Next one. Yeah, so yeah, we had more meetings and more meetings. We have constantly having meetings on everything. We're strategizing. We're trying to analyze everything. When we go to meetings, we're coming back and reporting on meetings. So yeah, contracts also. That's another thing. They don't think we're smart enough. So this is a contract that we wrote for Right to Dream 2, because this is basically Right to Dream 2, Right to Survive. Right to Survive is out there fighting in the battle, like with Occupy there. The police are always watching both sides, the protesters and the homeless people. Right to Dream 2 is people come in, they rest, and then they can fight the battles with us.
Hey, go home. That can't be bad.
It's a human right to sleep, and yet out on the streets, it's not a human right to sleep. They're always being asked to told, you have to leave, you can't sleep here.
Solidarity with occupied cornland.
Like I said, we're going to do a different level. Leo and I are formerly houseless people, and we want to bring the houseless people that living on the streets and in tent cities to speak so you can hear from them. As a matter of fact, I think Leo was one of the first person from Right to Dream 2 to get housed, and he's been there for 3 years now. 3 years now. So we're going to introduce Sarah and Aurora that's living in Right to Dream 2.
Right to Dream 2, being comprised of fellow houseless people, establishes a democracy that votes on rules enforced by our community. With hands-on experience provided from being directly involved, Dreamers work to de-escalate situations that arise within the community to protect the safety of others. Along with being mediators and advocates, we educate those on their rights and what's going on around in their community, even to those who are formerly houseless, an individual or supporter. With open arms, we welcome anyone and treat them unbiasedly. As a direct action of Right to Survive, people who have come to Right to Turn 2 have had a chance to go back to school and graduate. With the demands greater than the services available, rest areas are the solution to providing that hope you get when you finally have a safe place to rest without the help of a street family. Other rest areas throughout the U.S. have found greater success due to modeling themselves after us, using the same set of principles and guidance.